A boy and his parents exit a movie theater and start walking down an alleyway. They're only but a few blocks away from getting picked up and driven back to their lovely mansion. But in the dark corners of the alleyway, a mugger emerges from the darkness, holding in his hands the weapon of God, demanding the parents their wallets, the mother's pearls, and anything remotely valuable, until the father defends his family and staves off the mugger to the best of his abilities, only until the gun goes off. A bullet strikes the child, and before the father can do anything to save the boy, he passes in his father's arms. From these moments on, the family would never be the same, and the boy who'd become the world's greatest detective would cease to exist. All the product of a butterfly effect caused by Barry Allen going back in time to save his mother. The Flash would inadvertently change everything in the timeline for the worse, causing the world to have no Superman, an all-out war between Aquaman and Wonder Woman, along with the looming threat that the world could end at any second. What else could go wrong, you may be thinking? Well, Batman's mother becomes Joker for starters. As we start the story with Thomas Wayne 18 years later, running a casino as a front to lure in all crime alongside Oswald Cobblepot working beside him. After checking on the business, Commissioner Gordon arrives to the casino to a displeased Thomas Wayne telling Gordon to go to hell. Entering the limo to hear from Gordon that the Joker has escaped again from Arkham Asylum and has kidnapped Harvey Dent's 2 kids. Cut to Harvey Dent's loft. Harvey Dent rants on the fact that every villain in Gotham has been slain by the Batman except for the Joker, and that Thomas Wayne's funding the police has shown to be fruitless if Joker can just kidnap his children. As Dent's wife says aloud, her 2 babies are in the hands of a child killer. Thomas Wayne promises he'll find them and bring them back safely, to which Dent says that if he doesn't, it's over for everything Thomas Wayne has. Cut to Gordon and Thomas Wayne in the Batcave. Gordon says that there's not much to go on for the Joker's whereabouts, only reports from drunks and junkies that the devil's been pulling people into the sewers. So Thomas takes the lead on Joker's possible location, searching through Gotham's sewer system. Walking further and further down the dilapidated sewers with bones floating all around, Batman hears someone whimper not too far. Approaching further down the tunnels, with a looming creature not too far behind, Batman opens a random sealed door in the sewers to find several homeless people with limbs severed from their bodies begging for help. As Killer Croc rises from the waters behind Batman, preparing to attack him with a machete. Batman then turns around surprised, blocking the machete and whacking it out of Croc's arm, before Killer Croc would grab Batman by the throat and attempt to drown him. While in the water, Thomas sees flashes of the night in the alley, of Bruce's scared face, him fighting the mugger off, and finally the gunshot that took his son. Awaking a bloodlusted rage in Batman, grabbing Croc's head, using his thumb to squish Croc's eye. With Killer Croc staggered, Batman would get a second wind, until the two would lock eyes at each other one final time, before Batman would thrust a machete in Killer Croc's head. Now that's a knife. Batman then saves the people held captive by Killer Croc, but in turn, there's no lead on the Joker's whereabouts. Meanwhile, let's play house. Since there's 3 of us, somebody gets to be the daddy, and somebody gets to be the baby, the mommy. We'll have fun, and then he'll show up. Cut to Gordon on the phone with Penguin having their usual banter about Batman's nightly crusades and Joker. Gordon asks Penguin if he actually does enough good for Gotham. But before Penguin can give him an answer, Gordon reaches the Batcave to speak with Oracle on another lead to the Joker, hanging up. However, it's not quite a lead on the Joker and more of a dotted line, as police pulled a man from the Gotham River who had drowned to death along with missing his eyes. The John Doe found had been reported missing after he never came back from his last pizza delivery near Arkham Asylum. However, the delivery car is the key to the conundrum, with Oracle telling Gordon that the missing car has been ticketed 7 times in Bristol Township, most definitely the work of the Joker. As the Oracle of this timeline is revealed to be Catwoman, asking Gordon why that monster that is the Joker is still alive, saying that even if Batman finds those kids and does everything in his power to make it right, it'll never be made right. Ever. Cut to Gordon finding the delivery car. He's on the phone with Thomas discussing the new lead on Joker. But Gordon, wanting to prove he can do right by Gotham, he doesn't give Thomas all the details. That's when Gordon connects the dots not too far from the delivery car, laying his eyes upon the old Wayne Manor estate, proceeding through the gates as Joker's ominous figure looms over the window from inside. As the Joker inside the mansion turns around asking the children, they know nothing, don't they, other than fear and joy. Little ones, they're all that matter. You lose one, you'll go crazy. You lose both? Can you? Should you? imagine life without those anchors? Of course not. You'll go mad. Cut to Batman harassing Detective Bullock about the John Doe pulled from the river, until Renee Montoya steps in explaining that Bullock was drunk off his ass the entire night, bringing Batman into the basement, explaining that the Joker came into the bar a few nights prior and handed out pizzas. Most know better except for the John Doe and the new guy in town, witnessing the new guy laughing uncontrollably down in the basement below. Renee asks Batman if there's anything that they can do for him, but Batman just approaches him and snaps his neck, telling Montoya that she can blame him. That's what she can do. Afterwards, Batman phones into Oracle on the lead, where Oracle gives Batman the same intel she gave to Gordon, finding out that Gordon withheld the intel himself. Batman tries to call Gordon, but his phone is turned off, as Oracle tells Batman that he found the car near Wayne Manor. Cut back to Gordon walking through the Manor's several halls, hearing a faint noise, creaking open a door to find the Joker holding two guns over one of the children. Gordon then leaps from the doorway, opening fire on the monster, but who falls back isn't the Joker, but one of the children in the Joker's place, dressed up to fool Gordon into killing the child. Falling back to the floor, Gordon, in utter shock, tries to help the girl to the best of his abilities, but in the process, Joker slashes Gordon's throat over the children. Batman, on his way, blasting through the roads like a bat out of hell, receives video footage of Joker's work, laughing through it all, recording Gordon's desperate attempt to stop the Joker before dying. As Batman slams through the mansion doors, screaming, "What have you done this time, Martha?" Batman, running through the decrepit halls, bursts through a door to find the heinous scene of the boy holding his half-dead sister and Gordon lying dead not too far away. Batman approaches the children to help them, immediately using whatever he can in his utility belt to close up the bullet wounds in the little girl while Joker watches on. That hurt, I know. But hurt means you're alive. This will hurt too, okay? I'm cold. What? Flashback to the night in Crime Alley, Bruce's life is dwindling, as Thomas Wayne tries everything he can to put pressure on the bullet wound. As Thomas Wayne yells at Martha to get a hold of herself and run back to the movie theater for help. And as she runs off for help, Thomas says to Bruce that everything's going to be okay. But looking back, Bruce is completely lifeless. Thomas then tries everything he can to resuscitate Bruce, to no avail. In the wake of Thomas's efforts, Martha returns with help, yet it'd be too late for Bruce as he'd pass in his father's arms. Cut back to the present, Joker swings her hammer towards Batman, whacking him upside the head repeatedly while trying to save the kids. Flashing back to months following Bruce's death, Martha refuses to accept Bruce's death, even as Thomas reminds her, saying he misses Bruce too, but he misses her smile as well. Another time later, Thomas would be seen paying someone in Gotham for info on the killer, waiting till dark outside of a rundown hotel until the mugger would depart from the building. Pulling out a syringe, Thomas would think to use it on Joe Chill, but deem it too much of a mercy, dropping it, as Thomas would announce Joe Chill's name before beating the holy hell out of him, later arriving back to the manor to tell Martha that he got the son of a bitch who killed their son. But overcome by grief, Martha would turn around, revealing her new carved smile on her face because Thomas missed it so. Not too long after, Thomas would have Martha committed to Arkham Asylum, and the rest was history. Back to the present, Joker keeps wailing on Batman's head, till Batman, fed up, grabs Joker's arm and crashes through a nearby window. Tumbling to the courtyard, Joker calls Batman an astounding failure, before whacking Batman again, attempting to make a run for it. While running, Joker begins to mock their marriage before Batman catches up, grabbing a hold of Joker in her manic state. Joker then says aloud she wishes Thomas Wayne never existed, as Batman starts to remind Joker of the night in the alley after seeing the movie. They get mugged. Two shots are fired. Bang, bang. No! The man and the woman fall dead, but their son lives. Batman explains to Martha that he has the opportunity to rewrite history and make it so none of this ever happened and Bruce gets to live. So Martha gives Thomas the go-ahead to make that a reality, as the dysfunctional pair share a brief kiss. But Martha interrupts and asks about Bruce and what he does after their deaths, to which Thomas exclaims that Bruce follows his father's footsteps. Martha assumes that he'd be a doctor, but Thomas says no, and Martha becomes haunted by what that means, running away from Thomas, screaming to God, desperately trying to get away from her husband through the night rain, until falling through a hole in the ground. Thomas tries to grab her hand, but it's too late as bats seep out from the manhole. Thomas looks down, horrified to see his wife whimpering that the world is a bad one, dying in the cold and dark, dark cave, ending the story. I hope y'all like this story, as it holds a very special place in my heart because this is one of the best comics I ever read as a kid and made me get into comics in the first place. And I'm honestly curious if you guys want me to talk more about Flashpoint Batman, because after this there's also a series called Flashpoint Beyond, where Flashpoint Batman, after coming into the main continuity, gets sent out and back into the Flashpoint universe and has to do a whole investigation on how he can get back to the main continuity where his son lives. It's a pretty good story with some twists and turns, and I honestly do want to cover it, but I'm just curious if you guys would like to see it too, to entice me to do it even more. But anyway, I hope you guys like this story, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Also, here's 14 seconds of Armin's Titan form, because the video was so close to 11 minutes that I just decided to leave this image in to make it 11 minutes. So, yeah, there you go. Bye.